Good morning, students. It is Thursday, and we are on day 14 of our Doll's House and Feminism unit. And today we are going to be talking about Nora and her decision at the end of the play. So let's jump right in. People have been making fun of me for saying jump right in a lot, but apparently it's my thing, so I guess I'm going to keep saying it. Okay, so our goals for the week, as they have been this whole week, are you guys are going to write a response to a prompt analyzing A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. You're going to continue to collaborate with your teachers and classmates, and we are going to be finalizing all work on A Doll's House and our feminism unit so that we can prepare for our next unit. For today, we'll be reminding ourselves of the ending of A Doll's House. We're going to consider a character study of Nora Helmer, and then I want you to form an opinion on if you think Nora made the right decision at the end of the play. For today's standard, we are looking at RL3, analyze how complex characters develop over the course of the text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop a theme. That goes with our learning target. I can analyze the complex character of Nora Helmer by reading a character study and reviewing A Doll's House so that I can decide if she made the right choice to leave her family. All right, so it's been a week since we finished reading the play, so I wanted to give you a chance to kind of review the ending and get back into what was going on. So this is the final scene from the play. This is probably the best movie version that was produced. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it. And if you click this YouTube video right here on the blog, it'll actually pick up right at the end where Nora is explaining why she is walking out on her family. So go ahead and watch that. Remind yourself of what is going on. Your assignment for this week is you are going to be writing a response to a prompt about A Doll's House. You might have already done it, and if you have, great, you're done. If not, you've got until Friday at 11:59 p.m. Here are your prompts. And today, of course, we're talking about, did Nora make the right decision, leaving her children behind and going off to find herself? So, as we talk about Nora's choice, I want you to specifically look at this quote from the end of Act 3. Nora says, "What do you consider my most sacred duties?" And Torvald, her husband, says, "Do I need to tell you that? Are they not your duties to your husband and your children?" Nora says she has other duties just as sacred, and Torvald asks what they are, and she says, he tells her, "Before all else, you're a wife and mother," and Nora replies, "I don't believe that any longer. I believe that before all else, I am a reasonable human being." This is a really important line in the play, and it's a really powerful line in the play because a lot of times we do think of mothers particularly as being a mother first. Like, sometimes I would even think of myself as being a mom first before I think of myself as being a teacher or a wife or anything else. But Nora points out right here that above all else, she is a human and that she needs to see herself as a human being. She needs to become a reasonable human being if she's going to kind of continue on in this life. So in other words, Nora says that her duties as a wife and mother come second to her duties as to herself as a human being. Most of you guys watching this video are not moms, but I bet your moms know this feeling, this idea that the most important thing in the world is supposed to be your kids. But how are you supposed to take care of them if you don't also take care of yourself? This is a very common sentiment that I see among moms very frequently. It says, you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. And it's this idea that if you can't, if you pour everything out of your coffee mug and somebody else asks you for coffee, you can't give them anything because there's nothing there. And it's sort of a metaphor for ourselves as people. If I don't take time to refill my own coffee cup or to take care of myself, then I can't give anything to anyone else. On a similar note, you ever ridden on an airplane and they always tell you to secure your own oxygen mask before you help your kids? Well, you would think that, if your kids are the most important thing in the world, that you'd help them first. But that's not what you do on an airplane. You secure your own mask first so that you don't pass out before you even get a chance to help your kid. That's kind of what Nora is doing here. Nora feels like she has to put on her own oxygen mask. She has to fill her cup. She has to do what she needs to do, she has to take care of herself before she can continue to take care of her family. There's other metaphors for this as well. If you can't keep driving your car if you don't stop to fill up the gas tank. For those of you that are video gamers, you can't keep fighting if you don't stop to eat and drink to regain your health and mana, right? You can't keep going if you don't stop to take care of yourself. And that's what Nora is doing. At least that's what she says she's doing. But in order to do this, here's the other side of it, she walks out on her husband and children. Do you think that's the right choice? Do you think it's okay that Nora left her family to go find herself? We know there's no money problems. They're going to be financially fine. Torvald makes plenty of money, and we know they have a nanny, so the kids are going to be cared for. But nonetheless, here's the mother, Nora, walking out on her kids, not giving them any contact information, tells Torvald, no, you may never write to me. Is that okay? Did she make the right choice? What do you think's going to happen next? I want you guys to look at this character study that I've linked here of Nora. There's a picture of Nora from one of the movies with two of the kids. And it talks a lot about how Nora develops in the play. It talks about how she lies at the beginning so that the audience learns that she is very capable of deception. It talks about how she transforms throughout the play. And then, of course, it talks about the ending where she leaves. And I want you to focus on this paragraph right here. It says, since the premiere of Ibsen's A Doll's House, much has been discussed regarding the final controversial scene. Why does Nora leave not only Torvald but her children as well? Many critics and theatergoers question the morality of the play's resolution. In fact, some productions in Germany refused to produce the original ending. Ibsen acquiesced and grudgingly wrote an alternate ending in which Nora breaks down and cries, deciding to stay, but only for her children's sake. So when this play came out in theaters in the 1880s, some theaters refused to put it on because of this ending, and Ibsen had to write an alternate ending where Nora decided to stay for her children. But he hated it. Almost all versions of the play that you read today have the original ending intact. So, you can kind of tell that Ibsen was really not a fan of the alternate ending he had to write. So now I'm asking you, what do you think? This is your writing prompt for today if you choose to do today's, but even if you don't want to write about it today, I want you to form an opinion. Did Nora do the right thing to leave her kids and her husband, or should she have stayed behind? Should she have stayed and taken care of her kids, or maybe taken her kids with her? All right, let's move on to our closer for today. So while we're talking about self-care, while we are in this isolation crazy time, I think it's important that we all take care of ourselves a little bit. So I've linked you an article from NPR right here that has tips from the World Health Organization for how to take care of yourself. Some of those include eat healthy food, stay physically active, get regular sleep, have some kind of structure and routine in your life, and connect with your friends and family while maintaining social distance. So read over that article and then go do something to take care of yourself today. Looking ahead to tomorrow's checklist, we're going to remind ourselves of what a theme is and how to find one. We're going to consider some possible themes of A Doll's House, and then we're going to find out the topic for our next unit. So that's our day today, guys. Thanks for watching.